Accio viewers! Didn't work? Okay then. Hey guys, so as you can tell, I am all decked out in my Harry Potter stuff today. I'm repping my house, Slytherins Unite, and I've got Hermione's wand right here. Please don't judge me, I know Hermione's not in Slytherin, but I got this long before I was ever sorted on Pottermore. So in a few months, I'm going to Florida with my family, and we're going to be going to Disney World and Universal. I've been to Disney World twice before, but I've never been to Universal Studios Orlando. Actually, I've never even been to Universal Studios, not even the one in California or anything, and so I'm super excited to be going to Harry Potter World. When I was little, I was really sensitive to books and movies and stuff, and I got scared really easily. And so I jumped on the Harry Potter wagon very late, and the reason I say this is because by the time I actually read the first book, the two Deathly Hallows movies were in the process of being filmed, and J.K. Rowling had long ago claimed her title as a goddess of adolescent literature. I was around probably 8 or 9 when I read the first book, and because that was when I thought I was old enough to do it, and I will tell you what, I fell in love, man. I had never felt that much love for a book, series, or author until I read the Harry Potter books. As a matter of fact, I think if you want to get technical, Harry Potter was my first ever fandom, so it's actually quite ironic that my first ever Fandom Rants video on this channel is about Harry Potter. I tore through that series like wildfire. I could not get enough of it. I mean, I'm sure a lot of you experience this feeling because it's a feeling of joy and extreme happiness, and I mean that's just what the books do to you. You are reading and you read, and then you get to a chapter, like the end of the chapter, and you keep reading because you can't stop. It's just addictive, and it draws you in a way that I don't think really any other children's / adolescent book series has ever done, and I commend J.K. Rowling for that. Soon 1 chapter turns to 3, and then 3 to 5, and then 5 to 10, and then next thing you know, you finish the book in 3 days, and you're just mind blown, how did that happen? And I have many favorite characters and scenes in this entire series, but my favorite scene in probably both the books and the movies was the scene in Ollivander's wand shop when Harry gets his wand. I feel like the concept of Ollivander's is not given enough credit, considering it's only given a couple minutes in the movie and maybe a chapter in the book if I remember correctly. But I mean, it's so important to the series. If you think about it, every great witch and wizard gets their wand from Ollivander's. Harry does, Hermione does, Voldemort does, Bellatrix does. All of these great wizards, whether good or evil, got their wands from Ollivander's, and they would be powerless without that tool that allows them to do magic. And without a wand, why would anyone ever attend Hogwarts or Ilvermorny, the new school that was just announced the other day, or really any wizarding school all over the world? Because no one would be able to completely use their magic, and even J.K. Rowling says, she quotes on Pottermore, that Ollivander is one of the best wand makers the world has ever seen. Pottermore, and so J.K. Rowling literally says, and I quote, "Mr. Ollivander is arguably the finest maker of wands in the world, and many foreigners travel to London to purchase one of his wands in preference to those on offer in their native lands." She's basically saying that Ollivander is so incredible that people from all over the globe come to him to buy their wands when they could just go to the local neighborhood wand shop. In the Harry Potter universe, characters come and go like dust in the wind. We all know about Jo's shameless affinity for toying with her readers' heartstrings, but what is the one thing that even has a little bit of a personality to it that will stick with you throughout the entire series as long as you take care of it? Your wand. As long as you take care of this baby, it's gonna take care of you, it's gonna keep you safe, and it's gonna stick with you. Ollivander literally says you will never have such good results with another wizard's wand. That means that your wand was made with you in mind years before you came along. How amazing is that? Also, can we please take a second to appreciate how long the Ollivander family has been in this business and how committed they are to it? On the sign above the shop, it says makers of fine wands since 382 BC, right? I don't think people think about how far back that really is. BC is before Christ, so that's over 2,000 years ago. So this means that Harry, Ron, Hermione, Neville, Draco, all those characters got their wands at a time when the Ollivander family had been in the wand making business for 2,300 plus years. and there had been over 20 generations of Ollivanders in the business. Now add this on top of those statistics. Mr. Ollivander says he remembers every wand he ever sold, and he says that in both the book and the movie, making it completely canonical. There are about 1,000 students at Hogwarts in a normal academic year, and so what I did was I divided that by 7 to get the approximate amount of first years that come into the school. And after doing so, I got about 142 first years brought into the school every year to keep around that 1,000 student limit. And so this also means that 142 approximately students every year come into Ollivander's at Diagon Alley to get their wand. Now, Ollivander's a pretty old guy, so he's probably been in the business for a while. I approximately assumed that he was probably around 115, 120, and so as to not overestimate, I went with the lower of the two numbers, and so I used 115. And let's say that about 80 of those 115 years were used working at the shop and making wands. So that would mean 142 students, just first years, every year coming to him for 80 years straight. You want to know what that big number is? 11,360 wands in 80 years. Now add on top of that all the second years all the way through adult witches and wizards that break their wands or need to just buy new ones. That's a huge number. How could anybody remember that? I know I couldn't. How could you remember the exact dimensions? We're talking wand core, we're talking length, we're talking flexibility, this is insane. How could anyone ever remember this without being so incredibly dedicated to their work? And I'm gonna take a stab in the dark here and say that the rest of the Ollivanders were probably just as dedicated as he was. So, hats off to you, Ollivander family. You might just be the most determined and amazing wizarding family in the Potterverse, and for that, I congratulate you. It's for all these reasons and so many more that I didn't mention that I am probably the most excited to visit Ollivander's wand shop in either Diagon Alley or Hogsmeade when I go to Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Also, I'm just gonna say it here, I don't think I can die happy until I've had a wand chosen for me at Ollivander's, so here's to hoping that that'll happen to me. And don't worry, I'll vlog a little bit of the trip, or at least tell you about it afterwards. Alright guys, that's all I have for you this week. I hope you enjoyed this Potterific video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree with me, or if you want to add anything else to this little discussion. And as always, if you'd like to see more content from me, you can hit that subscribe button, and I guess I'll be seeing you guys soon. Alright, bye, or should I say, mischief managed.